This is a tutorial for basic macrame knots. These here are square knots. So to start off my square knots, I'm going to tie a lark's head knot. This is done by taking a long cord, folding it in half, putting the loop around the back of the rod, and then bringing the cords through the middle of the loop and pulling on. So now I've got 2 lark's head knots. I'm going to now start my square knots. So I'm going to take my 2 outer cords, and I'm starting with the left. I'm going to go over the middle and under the right. So I've gone over these 2 in the middle and over that one on the right. Then with my right cord, I'm going to go under the middle and over the left. So I've gone under the middle. I'm going to come through this loop and over the left. And I'm going to push that up. So now I'm going to do the other direction, starting with the right side, going over the middle and under the left, under the middle and over the right. And I'm going to tighten those. And I'm going to go again, starting with the left, over the middle and under the right, and then the right one goes under the middle, over the left. There we go, over the middle, under the left, under the middle and over the right. Right, now I'm going to show you how to combine 2 sets of square knots. So I'm going to tie a square knot on each of these 2 cords. So over the middle, under the right, under the middle, over the left. And I'm going to tie one on the other side. Right, now what I'm going to do to join them is take the 4 cords in the middle. So I'm going to leave 2 on the right and 2 on the left. And I'm going to do exactly the same as I've done before. So I'm taking the 2 outer cords from these 4, and I'm going to go over the middle, under the right, under the middle, and over the left. Taking my right side, over the middle, under the left, taking my left side, under the middle, over the right. And then we've joined them. And now you'll start on the left 4 cords and tie a square knot. And go to the right 4 cords and tie a square knot. And middle 4 cords. And there you have it. Now I'm going to show you how to tie a spiral knot. So, taking 2 lark's head knots, like I showed at the beginning of the video, what we're going to do now is tie half a square knot. So these are full square knots, these are half square knots. So you can either start on the left side or the right side. I'm going to start on my left. So we're doing the exact same thing, going over the middle, under the right, and the right goes under the middle and over the left. So now what we've done is tied half a square knot, and we're going to repeat exactly the same. So starting from the left, over the middle, under the right, under the middle, over the left. And again, repeating exactly the same. So we're always starting with the left side. And we just keep repeating. And you'll start to notice as I go that the cord starts to turn. So just make sure that you're always leading with the left cord first. And as it starts to twirl and get awkward, just spin it around and bring it back to the front so it's a little bit easier. Keep tying. Half square knots. I'm going very quickly now just so that you can see how to manage it as it's twirling. gets a little bit easier when it starts to face the front again. But you can maneuver this around as you're tying knots to make it easier. Just make sure you always lead with the same cord first. So if you started from the left, always lead from the left. If you started from the right, always lead from the right cord. And that is a half square knot. And then what we've got here are vertical, these are double half hitch knots. And you can make any sort of pattern with them. So I've tied 3 of these cow hitch knots, and we're going to start with our double half hitch knot. So I'm going to take the leftmost cord and go over the cord next to it and through this loop. And I'm going to bring that up, making sure that I keep that nice knot, don't lose it. And again, over the cord and under it through this loop, keeping that knot intact. And now I'm going to continue on to the next cord. So I'm going to go over and under through the loop, over and under through the loop. Can you see how this cord doesn't get used to tie knots? This is the lead cord and these are the filler cords. So they are filling up my lead cord. So I keep just moving on to the next cord each time. So I'm taking the next cord, going over the lead through the loop, over the lead through the loop, over the lead and through the loop, over the lead and through the loop. So I do 2 knots each time on every new cord that I pick up. So now we're going to do our last one here, over the leader through the loop, oops, and over the leader through the loop. Just make sure you keep that knot as you go up. And now we're going to turn around to make a rounded bend. So this is my leader cord, but we've now come to the end. So I'm going to switch that around, turn it the other direction, and I'm going to take the next cord here and go over and through the loop. And as I come around, I'm just going to put it into the position I wanted, nice and round, and again over the leader and through this loop. And then I'm going to grab my next cord, over and under. Right, over and under. Right, so you would just continue that onwards, but I'm going to move on now to show you how to make a twirl with using just a half hitch knot. So these are double half hitch knots. This is going to be just a single hitch knot. I'm going to move these over. Right, so I'm bringing another lark's head knot. And what we're going to do is just tie a half hitch knot. So starting with the left, I'm going to go over the right and through the loop. And I'm just going to keep repeating that exact same thing over and over. So going over it and through the loop, over and back around through the loop. I'm going to speed up now, just so you can see that as I keep repeating this, it's going to start to spiral. So again, just like when we created this, we want to make sure we keep leading with the same cord each time. So I'm leading with this cord each time. The other cord is just hanging around there. Okay, and you can see now, if I twist it, I start to form my twirl. Right, and the last one I'm going to show you is this very pretty alternating half hitch knot. So what we've done here is tied half hitch knots, always leading from the left. But what we're going to do now is tie half hitch knots, but we're going to lead from the left and then lead from the right, and then lead from the left and then lead from the right. So starting with the left, going over and through the loop, and then I start with my right, over and through the loop, and then again with my left, over, through the loop, and then with my right, over and through the loop. And you just keep repeating that. Left side, right side, left side, right side. And there you have it.